Am I live? Okay, great. Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna put very good. So for when folks log on, if they see this, we will begin in about 3.5, 4 minutes. Awesome. I'm gonna I'm gonna patiently wait, I think, and just get grounded. Oh, I want to start, but we'll give folks a few minutes to join us. Oh. Mm. Couple more minutes and we'll begin. This is just hangout time. For those of us that are going to be joining for the whole series, I will get on just like this a few minutes early before class. So if you get on and you're like, oh my gosh, I'd love to work on this morning, this is a great time to do that for in the future. Mhm, mhm. All right. Good morning. Welcome, welcome. It is official, our first day of the yoga challenge. I know not folks can join live, and when you do join, just jump right in or start from the beginning or watch this when you can. Just a gentle reminder, this is so very much your practice, and there's a vulnerability, of course, because I can't see what people are doing. And so, as always, no matter what, you're going to always let pain be your guide. So, anything that feels acute or sharp, that's when we back off and take care of ourselves. Most shapes can be adapted and, set up where it can support your body. I will do my best to point those things out. So, like, for example, if you can see the way that I'm sitting, this is actually amazing for the ankles. Like at some point in my life now, I crack my bones all the time, but this is a really nice stretch for the ankles here. If that's not available, then you can sit on your butt. If that's not available because that's too much on the low back, you can also sit on a block or a blanket. to support and lift up your pelvis. For me, this is where I'm going to begin. So find your seated position because we're going to do a little bit of work here that works for you. And then I'm just going to invite us to get grounded for a minute. Maybe even noticing the space that you're in. And let's just relax the shoulders. Start to feel the movement of your breath. And just the natural rhythm at this moment. And then we're just going to explore the depth of our own breathing, which is its own kind of medicine. And if it's available, see if we can keep our mouth gently closed and concentrate the breathing in and out through the nose. So maybe about a 4 and a 6 count if you got it. Inhale 4 and exhale 6. Inhale 4 and exhale 6. One more of those. Inhale 4 and exhale 6. Relax the shoulders. So that kind of breathing is the breathing that I'll continually invite us to throughout the practice. Um, every time we bring our mental focus to the breath, it actually gets out of all of that thinking and gets us closer to being fully present and in our body. So this morning, because again, neck and shoulders kind of get neglected. So just in whatever comfortable seating position, let's get a little length through the spine. Bring our hands next to us. And let's just start with left ear, left shoulder, and feel that whole stretch through the right side of the body. Trying to mirror y'all. Just kind of notice. And then let's flirt with the chin a little bit. Explore your body, your beautiful body that we absolutely need to live this life. So, for me, it's like, oh, let me bring my chin a little bit closer to that shoulder. Maybe I want to see what that range of motion is, where that tightness is. And then let's see if we can connect some breathing, right? Just move a little, see where it's at. And then we're going to get into the full side body, the whole lateral side of the right, bringing that right arm up and over. Now, immediately I kind of want to roll here to the left, but try to keep your pelvis center and maybe even bring it a little to the right to get a little more stretch. And then see if we can, if it's available, look up at the arm. Breathe. Let it go, whatever it is this morning. And then on that inhale, we're going to come back up nice and easy. And let's roll the shoulders, kind of check in, see where you're at, still staying with our breath. All right, otro lado, other side, right? So now we've got that right ear, right shoulder. Huge muscles. We have so many muscles in our neck and we kind of neglect them like so many other things. So let's give it some love. Hang out here for a minute. Relax the shoulders. Notice the breath. And then flirt a little bit, y'all. Now, each side is different. Each morning is different. So just see what feels good. Find some range of motion. Flirt with it. Find your own little edge. Find your breath. And then let's hit that whole side. Get a little lean in on that right side. Left arm up and over. And remember to compensate with the pelvis going in the opposite direction just a little bit. And then looking up at the arm or the ceiling. Don't hesitate to find what feels good for you right now and breathe. I love you guys. Thanks for being here this morning. And then inhale, come back up to the center. Shake it out, shake it out. So get those wrists, so many things that we don't think about, or at least I don't think about. I don't know about y'all, but that's where it's at for me. All right, let's come out of this seated position. Take your time. Come into a little tabletop, classic. So for me, with that flexion of the knees, I'm going to counter it just a little bit before moving on by extending one leg back on my toes, open up the back of the knees. Notice your belly, bring your lower belly in when we're doing this, right? Switch sides. Good. And then we're going to do our classic cat-cows. So really pay attention. Look where your knees are. They should be right under the hips. Hands should be under the shoulders. See if we can bring the shoulders back. If you have boobs like me, a little bit more, you can really kind of tuck them into the arms, right? So that they don't obstruct. And then on the inhale, we're going to arch, bring that tailbone towards the sky, look up. This is just a really nice way to warm up the spine. Exhale, round. Inhale, up. Exhale, round. Inhale. And exhale. Now from here, bust out a little bit. You can keep doing the cat-cows, but let's just take a little bit of a free movement moment just to explore. Get weird with it. Nobody's watching. Noticing our breath. Noticing what our body needs. Good. And then we're going to bring this right foot up to the front of the mat. And I need to open up. I have long legs, so I kind of have to open up a little bit. But we want that left leg coming straight out of the hip, okay? We want a nice 90-degree angle up here. I want you to lift your toes for just a moment on that right foot and feel the way that it presses the entire foot into the earth. That's how we can ground that foot. And then relax your toes, but keep that active. And then just gently let that pelvis kind of melt to the earth. Ooh. I am tight. I traveled all day yesterday, so I am feeling it and dealing with a little bit of a cold. So take your time. Let's breathe into it. Let's take 3 good deep breaths. Nice work, everybody. Nice and slow, nice and easy. And remember with that back knee, anytime we have our knees on the ground, you can always put a blanket under just to soften. Sometimes that kneecap on the earth hurts. You can just kind of drag or help that foot come back. Take a minute. Maybe you want to do a couple cat-cows before we switch sides. All right. Left leg, bring her up. Check in. Find that alignment. So pelvis is center. Sometimes I even will look back on my foot just to see if it's really coming out of my hip. Because it's amazing how we can miss our own body awareness, in space. Maybe lift those left toes, feel that grounding, and just let's melt in a little bit. Finding our breath. Let's do 4 breaths here. And just noticing the minds, And then gently bring that mental focus back to these last 2 breaths, to the sensation in the legs. Let it melt a little more. Good. And come on out. Nice and easy. All right. We're going to go. I think for the first day, I'm keeping it a little gentle, but these are all really wonderful shapes and moves that you can do really for the rest of your life. And then we're going to bring it down. Come into Sphinx pose, nice and easy. Elbows against the chest, legs straight out, and breathe here. Just try to relax your booty, okay? Those are the biggest muscles. Our glutes are our biggest muscles. So see if we can relax them. Relax the feet, shoulders down, and breathe. This is medicine for the spine. We'll just take a couple more breaths before we start to engage the muscles. Good. Slowly lower down. We're going to do our lotus or superhuman. So there's really subtle work here. This is all working our erector spinae, the spinal muscle, okay? So if you press the pelvis in, lift the legs up, extend the arms out. Notice your neck, really strengthening, breathing. Hold it, maybe lift the legs, lift the chest, and release. Gently bend the legs, windshield wipe left and right. Nice and easy. One more time. Pressing the pelvis in without over tightening the glutes. You don't want to put all that compression on the low back. Lift the chest, extend the arms out in front of us now, bicep by the ears. Spread your toes, breathe. And gently release. Windshield wipe those legs, nice and easy. Good. And then from here, actively, kind of a mini chaturanga, coming up to plank. So press. I'm going to keep my knees on the floor just to model that. Press up, core engaged, all the way, and then tuck those toes, and let's come into our first down dog. Feet are hip width apart. And hands pressing into the mat. Really that pointer finger, really press it in, the thumb in, tip the tailbone, shoulders back and down and away from the ears. Like there's space in the shoulders there. And breathe here. And then gently bring those knees back down, nice and easy. We're going to sit back on those ankles if that's available, but this time we're going to tuck the toes, which can feel like a pretty intense stretch here. So the way that you manage that is you can bring your weight forward. You can, however you can manage that works. Meaning you don't have to be straight up is the way I am. But this is an amazing stretch for toes and ankles. Good. And then from here, you unravel. And sometimes, I'm on mine, you can do a little hit like that. That can feel really nice. All right, we're going to come back onto our back. Taking it easy. We're going to do a little core. So here we go, guys. Knees up. I kind of like having a block, if you have this available, it's not necessary, where I'm going to hold the block here and then lift my head up towards the ceiling and extend my right leg without putting it on the floor. So we're really getting that strong line through the abs. And then exhale, come down. Or excuse me, inhale, come down. Exhale, extend that left leg. Feet are flexed. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Keep it going. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Good job, everybody. Take a moment. Let's bring our feet flat to the mat and just windshield wipe. Left and right. Nice and easy. Good. Let's do that one more time. Before we do it, feet hip width apart. Notice your low back, right? Your tailbone, your low back. I'm going to do a little pelvic tilt. So I bring my pelvis up and I flatten a little bit into the lumbar. And then I exhale, release, and create a little arch in the low back. Inhale, lift the pelvis up, flatten. Exhale, release. This is a little massage. Can also help with realignment. Nice and easy. And then release. Here we go. One more round of core here. If you have the block, you can set it there. Otherwise, you can just be just like this. Lift the head up and the shoulders up towards the ceiling. Extend that right leg out. Hover over the floor. Exhale. Inhale. Or excuse me, exhale and inhale. Do which way works for you. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Nice and easy. Keep going. Keep breathing. Hold the shoulders up. Bring them down. I was doing isometric there. Good job. Good job, everybody. Take a minute. Windshield wipe. Let's do a little bridge. Open it up a little. So what's bridge? Feet hip width apart. Shoulders are down, away from the ears. We're going to lift the pelvis up towards the ceiling. Hands down by the side, so you can maybe use them to support. Press the feet into the earth and lift your pelvis up. Oh, yeah. If you got it, you can interlace those fingers underneath the body and feel what feels good. And breathe. And then gently, slowly come back down. Good. Let's get a nice final twist. The spine needs twisting, so let the knees fall to the right. Stretch it out. If you can, see if you can turn your head over to the left. And breathe here. And noticing the breath. Noticing you and the minds. letting go. And then as you're ready, inhale back to the center, nice and easy. Otro lado, other side, left leg's over. And you might notice, per usual, one side is usually a little tighter. Breathe. And just notice the breath. See if we can deepen it a little. And then inhale, come back to center. Let's give ourselves a little happy baby. If you can't grab those feet, grab the ankles, grab the calves. Again, always exploring. Like, there's nothing that I can do that, meaning I can't invite you to something and know for sure that that's going to work for you. It's really for you to find that space and connect into your beautiful body. And for me, I like to move the head left and right, get that neck a little bit, and then bring those legs together, straight up, stretch it out, back of the body. Just a nice little morning wake up, connecting, trying to touch every part of the body here. And then when that feels complete, we'll move into our Shavasana here. We'll just do a minute, minute and a half since we had a shorter practice. And once you get into your resting position here, just invitation to close the eyes. Notice the breath. And allow the floor to hold you. Excuse me. Excuse me for my cold interruption. And we're going to take about 10 more breaths here. So just see if we can let that go. All the things we have to do today. See if we can be here for this minute. All right, let's come back into the body. Anytime you're on the floor and need to get up, probably one of the most gentlest ways to do that is to roll to the side and then push ourselves up like this. All right. Thank you all for joining me for our first day of the challenge and engaging in this lovely 30-minute practice. I will be here tomorrow again at 7 a.m. May you have a wonderful, wonderful day and enjoy all that is and try not to, I don't know what I'm saying, but I appreciate you and take care. And I will see you very soon. Bye, y'all.